Boom.
Hi.
Good Sunday afternoon. You know what that means? It's another exciting episode of Matinee with the Homies. And as you can tell, we're going to be talking about the King of the Monsters. Happy 71st birthday to Godzilla, the creature that started it all. And we got a bunch of good people up here tonight. So Campia, how's it going, you Rey Mysterio Dollar Tree wannabe?
Why am I friends with you? It's going great, everybody. We like he said, we'd like to welcome you. We brought a special guest on with us today, Hoodie D. He loves Godzilla about as much as any of us do, so we're going to go into that. It's appreciate y'all showing up. As Chris would say, you could be anywhere, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Back to you, Phantom.
Ronan, how's it going, my friend? And,
it's going absolutely great. Hello, everybody. Y'all know who I am. I'm Ronan the Crusader, and I'm super happy. We're going to be talking
Rhonda the Crusader.
good old Godzilla, good old Gojira, or as I like to say, good old Godzilla. I'm super hyped
Jay.
about this.
Jay, how's it going, my friend?
Yay. Doing pretty well this Sunday afternoon. I'm just happy to be here, honestly. You know, I know a little bit about Godzilla. Nowhere near as much as even one of these guys on the panel, except for AP. He and I are brothers in that. So
Brothers
I'm
in
just gonna be
ignorance.
sitting here nodding, smiling, and waving, agreeing with everything. If I have points that I want to bring up or questions, yeah, of course I'm going to bring them up. But as
Smile,
always,
wave,
I know
boys.
homies
Smile,
want
wave.
the Eastern Standard Time. Love being here. Love being here with the panel. Thank you, Hoodie, for showing up. It was really nice having you on here. Or it is going to be very nice, rather, having you on here to talk about this. We appreciate that. So
we're
I'm
gonna
going
kick
to
him
toss it
now.
to I'm going to toss it to AP.
Oh yeah, so like I said, I'm glad to be here too. I don't, like Jake said, I don't know jack shit about Godzilla other than giant monster shoot fire beam.
Oh, you will be
That's all you really need to
enlightened
know, though. That's all you really need to know.
Fair. But again, I'm
You
It's
get
gonna be a fun
educated,
stream.
bitch. You're going to get
You know what?
educated.
You know how Machine Gun go burr? It's basically like that. You know,
Godzilla
as long
go
as you
boom.
have that in your head and you
Godzilla
listen,
go-
you're good.
Yeah, dude.
And,
I'm just glad to
and
be here.
so, yeah, thank you for doing today. So our special guest, he is the GCA's very own Mexican Italian. He does videos on the GCA. Hoodie D, how you doing, my friend?
Hello, doing great. Yeah, I think it was Thursday night or Friday night in Discord. You mentioned this, and I was like, "Oh man, I can't miss anything about Godzilla." So I am glad to be here.
Well,
Very
we
nice,
was
very
talking
nice.
about it last Sunday. ABF was like, "Oh, Hoodie, you gotta get Hoodie. Hoodie will be upset if you don't get Hoodie."
Yeah, no, yeah.
And I'm like,
I said,
I would. We every time we do a Godzilla, anything about Godzilla, Hoodie's on the show.
Very nice.
it was fun last time. It was a lot of fun. So glad to be back.
We appreciate you being here. Going right into
Even
it.
though
Oh, go
that
ahead.
stream, dude, even though that stream got hit and we were blocked all over the world, and I had to delete every damn Godzilla thing off of it to get to play.
Toho don't play.
Damn.
Toho don't play.
No, I guess not.
They don't even have
So
a room to play. They're like this.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go right into the
So
first
Campia,
question. Go ahead.
so Campio, so I believe we got some news on Godzilla, don't we? We got some
Oh,
news.
yes.
What
We
news did we
absolutely
get there,
do.
Phantom? I believe we
Godzilla
saw
minus the
minus
new
zero.
Godzilla minus
Big
zero.
old goose egg.
Oh, yes.
We're walking all over each other today. Yeah, as
I can't
most
help
of
it,
y'all
man.
have seen, we Friday night watched minus zero just to get caught up with it.
Minus
Everybody
one.
loves it, or minus
Minus
one. I'm
one.
sorry, minus one, as everybody loves it.
We
And
can't
then
say we
got
watched
the
by zero.
announcement.
We hit.
We got the announcement. What, one day before that? Of
Well,
was
we
it
got
one day
we
before
got
that?
a tease for it, and then when the day came, that's when they finally dropped the trailer for us.
Yeah, and so,
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen, we got Godzilla minus zero coming up. I just want to ask, what's your thoughts on this? What do you want to see from this movie?
I would like to
I
go
want to
first.
see that
as
atomic
about-
blast.
I want to see that atomic blast as well. But I would like to say something as someone
I
who
wanna see
doesn't
Godzilla.
know as much about Godzilla. So obviously, pre -1, we were discussing this in the green room, guys, Phantom specifically, talking about his breath, his atomic breath, and how distinct it is in -1, where it's basically like a 0 point, that travels at light speed to his target, and then it's like an actual nuclear explosion. That's amazing. And then the time period just like literally starts in medias res right at the end of World War II, and then kind of continues just for about another nearly 2 years. Now, what I am curious about, and maybe you guys can all give your opinions on this is called Godzilla -1. And Ronan, you threw out a theory. Campy, I think you threw out a theory. If the next one's going to be called -0, presumably the one after that would just be maybe Godzilla, or maybe they would put a number on it, or maybe they'd give it some type of subtitle. I'm not sure what the progression of the timeline is going to be like in linear time. Because if this was 1945 to 47 was -1, is this one going to take place in the in the 50s? Are they going to eventually get to the plus numbers and it's going to be modern day and Godzilla is going to be fucking 2,500 feet tall or whatever? What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, I'll go ahead and comment on that. The thing I like about it is like they are doing -1 and then -0. The next one may be -2 for all we know. But what I'm worried about is I enjoy the human characters in this movie more than I have any of the other Godzillas. They actually care about the characters. And I'm kind of worried if they try to keep the human characters that they may kind of, if they go to the 50s, 60s, like, is this guy still fighting? What was he fighting for at that point? He's fighting to survive, of course, but like, you've done so much for this guy. I think you should let him live on and then move this to maybe
Let
a
the man
different
retire.
set of human characters. That's the only thing I worry about staying in this linear timeline is maybe them trying to keep the same human characters.
If they try to keep him as like the central human character, he could be the Spider-Man treatment and just be like abused by the writers.
I mean, possibly, but the thing is, however, that little tease at the end of -1, especially with his wife, because obviously he's going to be his wife now after everything that just happened. We know clearly Koichi is still going to be involved in this, especially with that marking on Noriko's neck. Something's going to happen with Noriko, definitely.
Which is fine, but going forward, I'm just scared they're going to kind of push that too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only way we can do is just wait and find out, see what the storyline's going to be. Yeah.
So we do know that the director is saying he's not bringing no other people on. It's going to be the same people that did -1.
Same crew.
15-person studio.
Same crew. He's going to have a bigger budget, but he's going to have the same crew. And
which,
you have to
mind you, we got to remember this again. -1 was made with like a $12 million budget. If they're getting a bigger budget, imagine how much more amazing the film's actually going to look in general.
And the CGI being so good on 12 million, like what they can create now, if they get like double that, is just going to be phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
like this is one team I trust.
Even if it's like $5 million more, like the visual effects would be so much better.
Exactly.
I believe on Friday night, Phantom, you brought up how or maybe it was Campia. You brought up, how do you guys feel about the visual effects of -1 versus like modern Hollywood visual effects? Now, granted, there's some modern Hollywood movies where there are scenes where the visual effects are just dog water, just absolute garbage. Now, I wouldn't say anything in -0 or -1, excuse me, was bad, but there was stuff that was noticeable, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that, especially given the size of the team, especially given the budget, because the complete package was just so good. So even if they, again, only gave him like another $5 million, that could be enough to just to hammer out, to just make it look that much more clean, that much better, have it match that much more, to make it effectively as perfect, I guess, as you can bring it.
Well, the thing was, Godzilla -1 looked like he was really walking through the city, and that scene with the boat, Him chasing the boat, it literally looks like he's really there chasing that boat. And like ABF showed us -1 right a few months ago in GCA Discord. And I completely tried to not watch any clips on YouTube because I know we were going to watch it. And when it came to the atomic blast scene, that was chef's kiss. That movie's a perfect 10 out of 10.
Well,
Straight up.
both of them, the one in the city and the one taking out the boats, was just wow.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
dude.
And so the thing with me is, so my thing about her is that thing on that marking on her neck. She could be infected because that's an Easter egg from Shin Godzilla. That's what that was. That's an Easter egg from that. Now, also, could she be linked to Mothra? Mothra could be being, teased at this because of her, right? And we all know Godzilla lived. He survived. His heart survived. Easter egg from Godzilla
Spoilers.
versus Mothra for All Monsters Attack. His heart survived, and he's still alive. And I just for me, I have faith in this guy because, I mean, he won an Oscar for visual effects for this movie, and it's like
they care. They
real.
actually care as opposed to just being given a job. They were. This is what they wanted to make, and it shows.
Yep.
Hoodie, what's your take on this?
Real quick, I just want to say, Phantom, the atomic breath scene when his spikes were, coming out. That scene inspired Adam Wingard in Godzilla X Kong to do where it followed up his when he was glowing up
Dorsal
and shooting
fin.
his breath. So that scene was, it was awesome, and it inspired, a scene for the.
Also, so when he's got his mouth open, they took homages from Space Battleship Yamato when they were powering up the wave motion gun with the energy drawing into Godzilla's mouth for him to launch it. But dude, I love it.
It was awesome.
Oh,
yeah. No,
what are you hoping to see coming up with this? With the
I'm hoping to see more. Honestly, I hope it's not set too far in the future. I want it to be set kind of
fair,
like 5 years or something.
I still want to see Japan struggling to rebuild. I really enjoyed that aspect of the film.
Right.
Even 5 years later, they're still struggling.
Being redestroyed too. And
well,
being redestroyed.
The guarantee that it will still be kind of a period piece is just because Yamazaki himself has mostly focused on making period pieces. So before he did Godzilla -1, he did a series of films called Always Sunset on 3rd Street. All of that is like post-war Japan stuff.
That was him.
So that was him. So he has focused a lot on like, post-war era Japan. So I think
he has a lot of commentary about post-war
I think the case, I think the case is with the second film, it is probably going to be a 1950s era sequel. That's my money.
Well, what the movie, the -1 takes place around mainly around 1947, right?
46
a few years
and
after
47
into 47,
right after the war.
It ends.
The first 2 years after the war ends. And so and then we see in the movie, there's a lot of destruction due to Godzilla. So of course that's going to be a ramification which will take longer to rebuild. So
that's setting the Marshall Plan back at least 5 years.
Oh yeah. Well, entire city was leveled. So.
Oh yeah, dude.
Well, that's. I mean, it's. You see, we're all exactly because of how good -1 was. We're all so excited about -0, and it's like this is one time I know we're going to get something good. Like everything else, we've been hopeful through the past couple years because of what we're living in now, but. This is just something I have complete trust in that we're going to get something phenomenal.
I said this Friday night. A.G. Tsuburaya was looking down and was proud as hell of that fucking movie. The original creator of the original Godzilla suit. Dude, if you didn't really look at it hard enough, dude, it was designed so perfectly well that honestly, the first time I was like, "Is that dude in the suit?" No, that's CGI, and I'm like, "Damn, that looks so fucking real."
Good.
And the
It
thing
looks
that I
like
like,
a dude could get in the suit.
the thing I like the
Or
most
could-
now is apparently Yamazaki himself confirms that with the sequel, it's not just going to be CGI anymore. He's combining suit work into it as well now. So we're seeing suitmation and CG come back. Oh yes,
That's awesome.
That's going to be the amazing bit, dude.
Everybody assumes it's going to be Mothra, but I'm really hoping for at the very end a King Ghidorah like cameo.
No, King Ghidorah. If you think King Ghidorah is more like an Avenger type level threat, so
yeah,
what they should just do is build it up. You know, hell, go
I like
old
how they did
school.
with Thanos in the original movies. Like, use it
make the first, puppet master. The thing is,
okay.
You really want to do this? Go old school. Bring in Garrus back as his first monster, like in the original.
That's what I was about to say.
That would be cool. Yeah.
And at least making Garrus have a good fucking mouth, and Godzilla don't have goofy fucking teeth like in that fucking
movie. Oh god.
Okay.
Sounds like you have a problem with that one.
Yeah, that was dude. That was the thing about the Godzilla Raids Again. Toho rushed it because they rushed it, and that's what that. And don't take me wrong. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. And it was just you could tell it was rushed, and AG Super Ride did not do the suit for it, and it looked terrible.
To be fair,
there he is
right there. To be fair, in the first Godzilla film, as soon as you see Godzilla show up over the mountain on Odo Island, like that first shot where he's roaring, he looks pretty cool. But then when he's looking down on the chick, he looks kind of goofy there. So you at least got to admit, Godzilla's always been a little goofy looking.
Well, the
but the photograph they used, Godzilla looked like fucking terrifying. He didn't even look like he did when he shot over the fucking
picture
mountain. That was
hilarious. Yeah. Oh man. Hell, even the shirt that I'm wearing right now. Look at this Godzilla. This is like the later 70s Godzilla's here. Look at this. Look at this goofy fucker. Look at him. Yeah. How can you not love him?
You don't love
that's the Godzilla. That's the Godzilla I grew up on, motherfucker. That's my Godzilla right there, man. That's my Godzilla.
Man. Phantom gave me a good little turnover there. My next question was going to be simply like we're all Godzilla fans. Everybody's some new, some old. Phantom's really old. But we're going to start off
300
with
years.
What was your first? I'm going to kind of combine two questions here. What was your first Godzilla movie? And if it wasn't the same one, what was your one that like really impacted you, really brought you into the series? We'll start with you, Hoodie, since you're the guest.
It was Godzilla 2000.
Oh, yes.
It was. I remember very distinctly. The dad took me to Blockbuster, and they had all of the different Godzilla movies there, and I picked that one and went home, and I think I watched it like 10 times in a row. Like, I'm not kidding.
Oh man!
That's a good one to start on too.
Just the destruction and the chaos and the Orga was really cool in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my introduction, and then kind of just went back into Blockbuster and grabbed all of them. They had Godzilla vs. Gigan, Mega Gears, so I watched a lot of those as a kid, and then that's what got me into it, and it really stuck with me. And they came out with, you guys probably remember the Godzilla versus All Monsters Destruction Melee game.
Oh yeah,
Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. Yep, that's a good game.
I had all of them. Yep.
My buddy had it, so I played with him for hours, and that's pretty much what got me into it. And growing up when they announced Godzilla 2014, I was just stoked. I was just so stoked. And now he's more popular than ever. So
exactly.
Oh yes.
Well, he's so popular. He actually is the only kaiju that has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That's right. He
That's fair. Yeah. So the first Godzilla movie is kind of one that's a little controversial in the Godzilla.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
It was the first one that I saw, which was when I was a little kid, was the Zilla one.
98 one.
and 98, and
Roland Emmerich one.
And then I watched, and I was like, oh. I look back on it, I'm like, oh god. But initially, I was like, when I was a little kid, I was like, big dinosaur, because I had no idea it was meant to be Godzilla, and so I was like, and then I was like, okay, there's a lot of cool stuff here. And then as I grew older, I started, and then we saw like Legendary and stuff. So that's what got me into it. That and the
Legendary was what drew you in.
Yeah, like first one I remember seeing was Zilla. What really drew me into it was Legendary, was more accurately.
I can understand. See, I can forgive. I can for those who don't know, he's our youngest member of the group, and he was a child at that point. So I can forgive a child living 98. I can't forgive any of the elders, but I can forgive a kid. Jake, what about you?
So I'm a little older than AP, but definitely younger than Phantom and you, Captain.
Everyone's younger than Phantom.
So my first legit run-in with Godzilla would have also been Roland Emmerich's 98 Zilla, if you will. That was the first one I saw. It wasn't my fault. I would have been 5 at the time when it came out. Jesus. So, that's just the way things are. I'm 32 now. I was born in 93, whatever.
I feel so.
But the Godzilla movie that really brought me in to actually have an interest in it would have been Final Wars, because I got to see Godzilla, legit Godzilla, versus this kind of like slightly big, fast raptor thing just get tail whipped into the Sydney Opera House. And although it looked cheesy, I was like, that's it. That's the shit right there. I'm here for it now. Now I'm in. Now I'm in.
Sold.
And sold from there. Yeah, absolutely. And
best $20 I ever spent on fucking eBay too.
Oh man.
What about you, Ronan?
Well, for me, it's very similar to like Hoodie and AP and Jake. My first run-in with, giant monsters tearing through cities and blowing shit up was also the 98 Roland Emmerich Godzilla film as well, too. Now, I watched that one when I was like 5 years old as well. And it got to a point where like I was obsessively watching it. Like even when I was even when I was out in Colombia with my dad at the time, I took the VHS with me and watched it over and over. Like even my cousins would like joke about that. Be like, mira este mamá otra vez que quiere ver Godzilla. Like I'm saying it in Spanish. Hoodie might understand what I mean, but but when I came back to America, obviously my family and I went out to a flea market one Sunday. We saw a stand where they sold a bunch of accurate Godzillas, and then that's when I saw this absolute beauty, not in the Blu-ray, but in VHS, Godzilla 2000. And this was when I first truly experienced the true Godzilla.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I never looked back since. I'm glad the first one that I watched was him fighting another monster. And Orga was probably the coolest other monster that I saw. And it was so amazing. It's such a great. Plus, I even got to give shout out to the English dub of it. Most of the time, I just watch these films subbed now with the subtitles. But the English dub on this, they hired actors from Hong Kong that knew how to speak English, and they actually did a really good job with the performances. So I liked it. It's great.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
Phantom, I'll let you go last because you usually have pretty good stories. So with me, I'm like y'all said, I'm in my 40s. So and Phantom's 180 years old. So he's probably seen the original. My first one was it 73 or 74? The King Kong versus Godzilla. I had the old blue VHS.
I think that was 68.
No, 63, I believe.
68.
Was it 60?
Yeah,
wow.
it was in the 60s.
Okay. I didn't remember the year, but the original King Kong versus Godzilla was the first 62. One I saw.
Damn.
Okay, I was close. Yeah.
And so I saw that, and
it was the third film in the series.
It was my first film, but it was my first King Kong and Godzilla movie. So when I saw that at you're talking about 5 years old, I'm an 80s baby. So like 85 is probably around when I saw that, 86. Just caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, why did I not know these movies existed? And just seeing the two biggest creatures going at each other and just what they could do back then with the bodysuits and everything. It was just so much fun. The human characters, like I said, I've not really ever cared about the human characters, but just seeing those two do what they did just was like, I was hooked. I got that. And then I went back and watched Mothra, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. It just brought me to everything. Phantom, what about you?
Little tidbit: it's also the first film where both monsters appeared in color.
Was it?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
It was.
There you go.
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
So, my very first Godzilla movie was I went to the drive-in. I wasn't quite a year old, and it was Godzilla versus Megalon, 1976. It came out in 75, but we got here in 76.
Very nice.
And I loved that movie. And what drawed me in was it was Godzilla. It was Godzilla and Jack Jaguar fighting, Gigan and Megalon. I love the story. And so, fun little fact: before they showed the movie, they showed Ultraman. So they showed the very first episode of the '66 Ultraman, the first episode of Ultra 7, and Ultraman Jack, which was Return of Ultraman, and it tied into Godzilla versus Megalon because of Jack Jaguar was a homage to Ultraman. And I watched it, and for like months and months after that, my grandfather worked at a company that they made cardboard boxes for like shipping and stuff. And he brought home all types of cardboard boxes, and in the backyard they set me up a CD-scape where my mom had a recorder of me saying, "I'm Godzilla," and I was doing the roar as a little kid, and she said that was
that's so cool. Actually, that's really cool.
And for me, that movie changed my life. It literally, I started like following every time a Godzilla film would come on. It was the memories of me sitting next to my grandfather, his Old Spice cologne, smoking a Lucky Strike cigarette, Sunday mornings watching Godzilla as a kid, and I just became a fan. And I was so grateful that we had a Japanese American who run the local drive-in and had Godzilla and Ultraman and all kinds of made in Japan media showing it back in the 70s. And I love Godzilla. My grandparents and my mom waited till I was old enough to tell me that Godzilla was always not the good guy before I ever watched the original Godzilla King of the Monsters, the 54, because it would have destroyed. Yeah, it would have destroyed my feelings towards Godzilla because I've always loved Godzilla as the good guy. And it's like I can understand why he does like destroy Tokyo and stuff, but it's instinct because the buildings are in his way. He has no choice. He moves in a straight linear path.
Well, there are certain films where he literally does just come up and just like fuck Tokyo up for no reason.
For
lack of a better term.
In -1, he fucking tail whipped the building just for the hell of it.
Oh, you know what?
Behind him, and he just went.
Yeah.
That reminds me because I was watching the anime films as well too, and like towards the end of the first anime film. After they thought they killed the one Godzilla, the real Godzilla shows up from the freaking mountain. What does he do? He tail whip,
baby.
He does the tail whip, and the tail whip is like its own nuclear attack where it sends out a shockwave and just blows a bunch of the survivors up. I'm like, holy shit!
Don't forget the Godzilla drop kick. You'll never forget the drop kick.
Oh yeah, the good old drop kick.
And that's another thing about Godzilla in that movie. As a kid, seeing him just like goes up and he goes. And he just drops, he just flies. But another Godzilla movie that really made me fall even more in love with him was Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, Hedorah.
Oh yes, Hedorah.
If anybody hasn't seen it, so I'm gonna spoil a scene. So there's a scene where Hedorah he can transform before he can fly. He can fly. Godzilla turns around, puts his arms up like this, and he starts launching his atomic breath. He gradually goes up into air and literally flies, and the music in that scene just makes the fucking scene. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Godzilla's so man, I just fucking love Godzilla, man. I could talk, dude. This stream would probably go 3 days if we just talk straight up the whole time, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, you feel free. If there's another movie y'all want to talk about Godzilla, like that's what this is about, our love for Godzilla, and it's his birthday. So I mean, if y'all want to, I could throw another question out. Is Godzilla your favorite kaiju of the films, or is there one that you love more than that?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I know we had, like I said, King
Okay.
Ghidorah, I love, but I still love
This isn't-
Godzilla more. Go ahead.
This isn't shade to Godzilla, but it's really easy to love Godzilla because he's the most
He's the king.
known and lovable and like iconic of all the kaijus.
I got another kaiju here I could show off. Everybody knows the good old friend of all children, Gamera. But the problem is that as popular as he is, he's
I gotta
don't really
watch that
talk
one.
about him all that much. That's the
People
issue, is that people don't
Yeah.
really talk about him as much. He has the new anime series on Netflix, but like everybody knows Godzilla. Everybody absolutely loves Godzilla. Hell, the Americans decided that Godzilla was worthy of making a whole new franchise over here in the States.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gamera
It's quite
is
the legendary franchise.
mostly exclusively to Japan, and like the only company that decides what they want to do with Gamera, Daiei, they haven't really done much with him other than the Netflix series. That's about it, which is kind of a shame because Gamera is a pretty cool monster as well too. I would say he is, like, giant turtle built by the Atlanteans to basically protect the
I didn't know
planet.
that.
Well, okay, so in this
Mhm.
continuity, this is the Heisei continuity, right? This trilogy here, he was
Yep.
built by Atlantis, and he was built by the Atlanteans to basically be a guardian of the planet, guardian of the universe, as his title is. But he's
But also
just not-
he was a contingency and he was built because they built the Gauss first, and instead of the Gauss doing what Gamera was supposed to do, they decided they wanted to rule. They start killing people and needy people, and they literally had to build Gamera to fight the Gauss.
Right. And you know what, to even give some props to Gamera as well too, this trilogy probably trumps almost all of the films in the Heisei series. Like, these three films have some of the best writing, have some of the best visual effects, some of the best suit animation, and some of the best storytelling that I've ever seen in a kaiju film, especially the third film, which is Awakening of Edis, Revenge of Edis, Impossible Struggle, whatever you want to call it. All I know is most people call it Gamera 3, Revenge of Edis, but it's got some of the best writing. It's the first time you ever see a human character actually despise Gamera, even though most of the time all the kids just love and cheer him and, like, just absolutely adore him.
Ties back to the first. It ties back to the first movie too.
It does.
The first
yes.
of the series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, but Godzilla is the one monster that always reigns supreme out of all the kaijus that exist. Everybody absolutely loves Godzilla. Everybody will talk about Godzilla. We just said it before. Godzilla's got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So, Gamera doesn't get that much attention.
For King Kong.
Justice.
I agree.
Was not beauty that killed the beast.
We need monkey representation.
If you think about it, like the thing is, Godzilla was the first kaiju. He is the first kaiju. He was labeled. They made the term kaiju because of Godzilla.
That's right.
You in the 50s and 30s, you had monster movies, but they were monster movies. They weren't known as kaiju. Like the original King Kong, all he was just a giant ape, never known as a kaiju.
Nowhere near as big as Godzilla. That's for damn sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. And the thing is, they gave him the term kaiju, giant monster. It's because of his height. That's the reason why. That's the definition of kaiju is because of his height. Yeah, giant monster is. That's why that's the title. That's how he got the name.
First ever canon height, 167 feet tall. That's his first canon height.
Still pretty fucking big.
It's huge, dude.
Wow.
Absolutely
Holy
huge. And then, of course, he just gets bigger as the movies go on.
I mean, he's not wrong.
The legendary films, he's at 353 feet. And then, of course, with the anime trilogy, he's over at like more than 1,000 feet. The dude is absolutely huge. They love making him bigger and bigger. I think, if I'm right too, it got to a point where there was kind of some inconsistencies in the first Godzilla film. Like, if you notice, there's some size inconsistencies as the film goes along. Like some of the buildings are like drastically shorter than him.
Yeah, so in the original movie, he was supposed to be as tall as a 3-story building. Because,
yeah, he was.
Because it was the seat. Because the reason why Godzilla keeps getting bigger and bigger is because the cities have gotten bigger and bigger.
Right.
That's the reason, and that's the reason why, like Ghidorah, like King Ghidorah, is the biggest of his rogues. He's, he is.
Now, is that by like wingspan or like head to tail or
what? It's overall size, I would say. Yeah, wingspan, head to tail. He's so okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you were to use the legendary monsters, right? Godzilla's 353 feet tall. Then you have King Ghidorah in the legendary universe. He's over 500 feet tall. Okay. And the wingspan just makes it even worse. He's an absolute titan even compared to Godzilla.
Yeah, he's not to be trifled with when it comes to size.
That's
also
he still kills him.
Well, that's one of the things in 98 that really got him. Go ahead, Phantom.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Phantom.
Also, you have to remember when King Ghidorah showed up on Earth the first time, he's the one that wiped out Godzilla's species, except for him. He was the one. He became the apex predator, and it was because of Godzilla, taking it, literally fighting him into Antarctica and trapping him in the ice is what literally made him the apex predator.
The only exception would be the one bones that Dr. Serizawa finds in the first legendary film. I think that Godzilla got killed by the Mutos instead. Those are the ones that got killed by the parasitic Mutos. Mm-hmm.
Well, but there was a war between the Kongs and them too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There was that as well too.
Well, really? So
Godzilla's race did fight Kong.
The MonsterVerse has been very good with scale, especially like Godzilla 2014 was really good with that. But look at King of the Monsters with Ghidorah. Before they fight in Antarctica, there's that shot where it zooms out and it shows the size of Ghidorah compared to Godzilla. He looks pretty small. And
Well, it was because of Mothra saving Godzilla is the reason why Godzilla grew, because she gave her life and her essence to help because Godzilla controlled the nuclear meltdown in his body. That right there is what caused him to actually grow and get more powerful was her.
And I'll say this about the legendary Godzilla movies is particularly they do know how to shoot to make creatures look massive.
Oh yeah.
Like in 2014 when you just see like the lower half of Godzilla's like leg. Just and then you see him skydiving, and you just see like Godzilla like just taking up the entire background. It's just
that skydive that wherever they're diving in.
Oh, the halo jumping, the halo jumping he did in 2014. It was a really cool scene. Actually, speaking of scale too, now that you bring that up, the first appearance of Godzilla in the 2014 film, when they're in the airport in Honolulu, right? His foot just stomps on the ground. Everybody's screaming because of the explosions. And then it just goes dead silent. Like you could hear a pin drop. And it's just, oh my God. That scene when Godzilla actually shows up against the
Godzilla was protecting the people. And the thing is, Godzilla was protecting the people in the facility from the explosions that were happening outside. Literally, the military is shooting at him. And he sees the people down there, and he's like, "There's people here," and he's like, "No, I'm just gonna walk right in front of them," and he literally protects them from the blast.
Well, that's one of the downfalls of 98, though, is that the size of the Zilla in that Godzilla in that was like he was maybe 10 stories high. His foot was the size of a car. That's menacing, but it wasn't. He was able to disappear into a freaking skyscraper, which was like what? It's just that's like Matthew Broderick is the worst thing about it.
Able to get
that was the death.
Get
and Roland Emmerich can do that kind of stuff, but he was just like he just had no scale to him whatsoever.
So with Zilla, he was able to like hide behind buildings and then burrow into the New York subway system, which is why he was kind of able to disappear. No, I know that's why I said Zilla. Like I think the closest comparisons you can make with Zilla would be somebody like either Baragon or Gorosaurus. And I have to say Gorosaurus because in Destroy All Monsters, he's the one that burrows underneath the Arc de Triomphe, even though that was supposed to be Baragon, but they couldn't. I guess they couldn't get the suit ready in time, so they give the burrowing ability to Gorosaurus as well.
It was rights issues.
The rights. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Always comes down to rights.
Always got to be rights. Yeah. But I mean, like, Zilla is kind of a smaller creature. I mean, clearly he's outmatched when it comes to the actual Godzilla. Like we all see it in Final Wars. But the size inconsistencies for that are a little strange because he's almost taller than most of like the 10-story buildings that exist in Manhattan, even though he's able to hide away from them. It's a little weird, the size handling that they do with Zilla in that film.
Well, he's an iguana. That's why he was able to hide. He's just an
his iguana mixed with a raptor.
Iguana.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The one thing about that movie that obviously when I first saw it, I was quite young, but looking back in hindsight, rewatching it was, first off, like the bee swarm of like Comanche helicopters. Come on, helicopters don't fly that close together. And then second off, like go up a little higher, guys, and look down because he's weaving his way through like downtown Manhattan and stuff and hiding somehow. Like go in an aircraft, go up and look down. You would be able to see him.
Satellites. And another thing, you remember at the end of the movie, they kill him with rockets. Godzilla's made of fucking armor. Rockets bounce off of him, and they shoot two missiles at him, and it takes him out. I'm like
4. I think it's a total of 4. So they do one strafing run that fires like maybe 2, 3 of the sidewinders, and then when they turn back around, they shoot another 2 or 3 sidewinders. So it's around
isn't
4
Godzilla,
or 5 missiles that kills them.
Isn't Zilla in that movie aproductive, or is it like
no, asexual? He reproduces asexually.
That's where that bullshit came from. Was that fucking movie? There are female Godzillas. There are female Godzillas, for Christ's sake.
If they were a species, of course there would. First off, I want to say sidewinders are specifically air-to-air missiles. I just want to point that out. Number one. Number two, if like 4 or 5 sidewinders is taken down, how come like 120 millimeter depleted uranium tipped round from an Abrams tank isn't penetrating it? Like, because if you're gonna have sidewinders take it out, those fucking Abrams should have been just punching through.
Well, Jake, if you remember if you remember seeing the film, like every time the military's trying to fire all their arsenal at it, he's like ducking under all of it. I don't know if you know, like somehow he's ducking throughout the buildings and then jumps into the Hudson River just to avoid every single shot.
Well, also, Jake, Godzilla's in canon, Godzilla's skin is harder than obsidian.
Oh no, I understand this. I'm just speaking specifically about the whole number 98 Godzilla. Like, if sidewinders are gonna be able to take him out, like, come on, a tank round would easily go through it. That's all I'm saying.
Also, like, the thing is him being iguana. I'm like, are they having it where he can camouflage himself, that he can like go up against something and he can disappear?
Well, he did do that like, in the movie.
Yeah. The thing is, the thing with that creature was me being a guy. See, that movie came out. I was in like 23, 24 at the time. Oh, I was 24 because I turned 25 in 2000. Watching that,
allegedly,
this is before the internet. And it's like Godzilla. Fuck off. Being a Godzilla fan. So my grandfather bought the VHS of this. This is a good story on this one. I've told this one in Discord, and so my grandfather bought it. It was me, my mom, my then wife, my kids. We were sitting there. We were watching it. When that movie was over with, my grandfather got up with his cane, walked over to the VCR, ejected it, put it on the damn ground, and he crushed it. Literally stomped it. I took it, dude. I took it outside and I set it on fire. I'm like, that's not Godzilla. That is not Godzilla. Godzilla does not fucking run. he doesn't run. He runs from nothing.
Yeah, for
That
my
ain't no
defense,
Godzilla.
that was not Godzilla.
That's just Gino.
The
That's
only
Godzilla
the
name
only
only.
time the only time that Godzilla ever run
I like that.
was against Mega Godzilla, and he had no choice because he was fucking hurt. He was near death when he fought the original Mega Godzilla, and he had to leave the fight because he's like, I got to come up with a better strategy. And that's how the Godzilla films are. They'll have a main fight, they'll have a first fight. Either way, Godzilla could lose that fight, or it ends up something happens and they have to be pulled apart. Right?
It's
they go
a Rocky
separate
movie.
ways.
It's a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then
Actually-
and then like in that movie, Godzilla goes to the island. He gets struck by lightning, and he gets his ability to generate magnetism. Like he can control magnetism, and that's how it is in those movies. You know, like in Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Godzilla went and he knew there was something coming. He went to Tiamat's lair, killed her, absorbed the energy to be more powerful because he knew something was coming. That's just how Godzilla is. But in that movie, I don't care what people say. And I know Kreese jokes with me about this, but being a Godzilla fan, loving him all my life at that point, seeing that movie broke my heart. It literally broke my heart because they fucked over to the King of Monsters.
Again, that was the first monster movie, big giant monster movie I watched, and I was obsessed with it. Then I see Godzilla 2000. My opinion completely changes. I started kind of joining the bandwagon of hating on it because, like, that's not Godzilla. Godzilla doesn't die from missiles on aircraft and this, that.
That's what I'm saying. As a kid, I can forgive something like that, but as you get older, you're like, no. If you like it as a adult, like Kreese does, what's wrong with you?
I mean, if I'm a be,
dude,
if I'm
I was at least I was adult when I watched it, and I knew the difference.
If I'm gonna be honest, though, it is a good monster movie. Though I think it's a good monster movie. I find it entertaining. Like the only thing they got to do is change it to a different title.
Yeah, just
like I always say,
and take away Matthew Broderick.
Like I always say, change it to Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Advertise it like a remake of Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, and there you go. Like that kind of works better. Change the monster of the name to Rhedosaurus, and there you go.
Or just have a cheesy name like Giant T-Rex attacks New York.
Well, the problem, AP, the problem with that, we already have a cheesy monster name called Reptilicus. You can't really get any cheesier than that.
You gotta remember that. You gotta remember this. Toho was so pissed off at this movie. They bought the rights to the monster, changed its name, and had it lose to the King of Monsters in 3 fucking seconds.
Well, even before that, too, let's make a nice little nod to Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. I know it's a mouthful. They in the beginning they referenced that New York got attacked by a giant monster. They're like, that had to have been Godzilla, right? It's like the Americans think it's Godzilla. Our sources are saying it's something else. Yeah.
Best part of that whole fucking movie. Best part of that whole fucking movie. They fucking dissed that. Toho was pissed. And the thing was, when Legendary, the reason why Legendary got permission to do the 2014 Godzilla was because of Pacific Rim. How they did Pacific Rim so well with the kaiju. They're like, okay, you guys did this as well. And they literally showed the mock-up of what Godzilla was going to look like. They were going to give him gills, which I think was a good thing because he's amphibian, so he can survive on land and sea. And the roar. When the guys from Toho heard the 2014 roar, they're like, "Here, you can make it. We'll give you the budget and everything."
When that roar first came out, when they dropped it,
and
I listened to it so many times.
Oh yeah.
So and it is such a good roar. Man,
you know what? Actually,
that reverberation at the end of it makes it so fucking scary.
I gotta ask this then real quick. I don't know if this is on the agenda, shall we say, but I gotta ask this because there have been different roars that have existed throughout the history of Godzilla. So I gotta ask you guys, what's your favorite roar of Godzilla?
The 70s.
The 60s and 70s for me, yeah.
Okay, that's the original roar then. All right, Hoodie, what about you?
It's the MonsterVerse. Like Phantom was just saying that after the regurgitation, that it's
Right.
just, oh man. But if I'm not looking at MonsterVerse, I'm gonna go the Millennium Era.
Yes, yes.
Godzilla 2000, Godzilla, versus Mechagodzilla SOS. That roar right there is just so loud and man, it's good.
The low pitch of that roar and just how it extends and keeps going until it finally ends is, oh my god, that roar is my favorite as well. Like, I wish that the MonsterVerse could find a way to like get that roar and like make a newer version of it as well, because we've heard him use the original Godzilla roar in King of the Monsters, so they have a way of using some of the roars from like the Godzilla history. I want to see them try and find a way to remake, shall we say, the Millennium Roar. Oh, I love that roar so much.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, for me, the 70s one, when it starts off, but then he has those mini roars that are, the screechies. That
yeah. You get the
Like
first
he's
one that's
talking.
like, "Rah," and then you get the other.
it's that.
building up
It's like,
to it. Building up to it, yeah. It is squeaky, but then it just builds.
I love
it.
I love the build up. The build up is what makes it so great. It's like a and then it just like the legendary ones are the MonsterVerse ones. It's so good.
I gotta give props though to -1, the way that they
Exactly.
use like the very first roar that you hear from Godzilla was like, it's probably not the best replication, but you get what I mean. They did a good job of actually bringing that one to the modern day.
Completely, and the build up with the shot.
Hey, fuck off. The Shin Godzilla roar was pretty good too. The Shin Godzilla was.
Oh yeah, no, the Shin one's good as well. Yeah,
but -1 was
are -1 and Shin Godzilla are my two favorites. I love the MonsterVerse one, but those two are my favorites.
For me, like in the the 70s version is like in the movies, like when like the monsters are like destroying like Tokyo or something, then all of a sudden you hear that roar from the 70s Godzilla, and they all the monsters turn. They're like, oh shit, we're fucked. We are fucked.
Well, it's like Godzilla -1. It had the best he did the roar. He did the build up to firing his breath, an atomic breath, and just the sound you hear as each scale goes up. The shoot, and then the shoot, and then the just silence after.
Dead silence.
The one thing that the -1 is missing, if you guys remember, like when Godzilla's atomic breath has a distinct sound that comes out when he launches it. It's it's like that. No, that was like a bullet. That was like a bullet being shot from a fucking gun. And I'm like, I miss it, but dude,
they did a damn good job.
The fire crinkle,
yeah.
And then baby Godzilla with the boop.
The fucking fire ring, the ring of fucking smoke.
Actually, that reminds me of the MonsterVerse charge up that he has for his atomic breath as well too. Like that's a really cool sound as well, where you hear
it's
crackling, you hear that winding up, and then once it goes from his tail all the way to his head, there's like a specific sound with his breath where it's like a
you hear the suck in and then the fire.
Like you hear it's like a unique like plasma almost kind of like sound that comes out when he shoots his breath, and it's really cool.
That harkens back to the 70s one, because when he starts powering up his dun 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 dun, it's its own distinct sound. Like in -1, when it launched out, you can see literally his blood shooting out from the dorsal fins popping out as he's getting ready to fire, and it's like,
Bullshit. Oh man.
And the one thing I hope they just don't do, they tried this with Shin. I hope they don't decide that Godzilla is the perfect weapon. I hope they don't try to try to control him.
This
like
is
the
true.
American swoop in.
Oh, yeah.
With the
Yeah,
American
Oh,
swoop
I
in.
see what you mean.
Dude, there's been like Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. They
Mhm.
they did this in that movie where they put that thing on Godzilla's neck to control Godzilla. I don't like it when they try to do that in these movies, and I hope
That's the
they
whole
don't do it.
Well,
that's the
well,
whole
I
subplot
think
where they try and get
it'd be
the
interesting if
psychic
they
girl to sort
if
of
they try
control him,
if
yeah.
they try to, but fail so like dramatically.
so-
they fail.
No,
so
well, no.
dramatically fail.
What I prefer that they would do, if anything, if the humans got to get involved with, finding a way to coexist with Godzilla, they need to do like how they did it in 2019's King of the Monsters, where it's like
Mhm.
direct him to where he's got to go, direct him to his actual enemy,
Yeah.
and then basically fight alongside
it.
him. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Win fight, yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Well, I mean-
like
But-
in the '70s cartoon, like in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, they were able to control Godzilla by pressing a button. He shows up, and in the I have to say, I hate the '98 movie, but the cartoon that came after it was
That was actually
fucking
pretty
good.
funny.
Oh,
the
yeah,
cartoon,
pretty
the cartoon was
good.
decent.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
98
cartoon was decent.
cartoon is good.
I
Yes.
like the cartoon.
Why they did that is because they followed the blueprint from the Hanna-Barbera where Godzilla was, literally the kid. He was imprinted on the
You can put
kid,
it on a kid. Yeah.
and he was like, okay, we call Godzilla, and he comes and he helps fight for us. That I am fine with. But them trying to try to mind control him or whatever with him.
This millennia-old massive creature that could not give
Yeah.
less of a
Well,
damn what
the
a
fairies,
human cares.
basically, yeah.
Well, the Twin
Yeah.
Fairies is a different case because that involves Mothra, obviously. But the Twin
Mhm.
Fairies are actually handy when it comes to humans trying to actually communicate with Mothra.
Because they can talk to
yeah.
Godzilla.
Yes,
They-
that's true
They
too.
can talk to Godzilla.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm. That's my point. Is like being able to.
The one thing we don't need is Godzilla actually speaking in human language.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
AP,
they've
if I were
already
you, I wouldn't
already
watch
done
I wouldn't watch the English dub of Godzilla versus Gigan then.
They did in the Japanese too. They did in the Japanese too.
That's so that's why I brought it up, because I know you guys don't like that. So.
Well, the thing is, I do
Oh.
love Godzilla versus Gigan. I think that was a good.
It's a
fucking
good movie. I like it.
Even
It's
the
just-
even the talking, being a kid at that time, I'm like, it's goofy. I don't care.
It's real funky because they take the Godzilla roar and run it through a record player, and it's like they're trying to mix
Backwards
it,
and
with all
forwards.
that DJ scratching and stuff. Yeah.
Well, okay, so let me ask this then. Gigan, do you think that's a well-respected movie, or is that more an underrated?
I put it as underrated, if anything.
there-
That's
is
probably
there-
where I would put it.
Yeah,
Like,
is there,
people-
go ahead.
I'd say people look back fondly at it as another nice addition to the Godzilla franchise and another entry that introduces another
Introduction of
monster.
Gigan.
Yes, exactly. The introduction of Gigan.
Is it one of the more campy?
Oh,
films?
absolutely, it is.
They-
The-
They had
That's
they're
why I was-
cockroach people.
yes,
There's
there we go. I was
cockroach
gonna say,
people.
the alien
Yeah.
invaders in this one are cockroach people. That's
But you
that's
know
that's
something
about
funny,
as campy
though?
as it gets.
Dude, this is before Godzilla versus Mega Godzilla with the apes, and they literally took
That's
the plot from Godzilla versus Gigan for Godzilla versus Mega Godzilla, and it
Yep.
worked better for it
Yep.
because there
Oh,
were
yeah.
ape creatures instead of cockroach people.
Okay. I
Godzilla,
have
the
a
Godzilla
question.
Tower.
Hey.
Not to let people go off on too much of a tangent before we continue, but I do have a question, maybe 30 seconds each. What is let's start with you, Phantom. What is your opinion on the idea of a Mechagodzilla? What is your opinion on the non-biological kaiju, if you will? How do
I
you
think
feel about
he was
that?
unique. He was unique. It's like
Mm.
the monsters knew that they. I mean, if you look at the Godzilla movies up until Godzilla versus Mega Godzilla,
Mm.
they would call in other kaiju from other galaxies to fight
Yes.
Godzilla, and they would
Mm,
that's
lose.
right.
Right.
Mega Godzilla came that close of killing Godzilla in the original movie.
Yep.
That close. And Godzilla still had to have the help of King Caesar to defeat Mega Godzilla. He had
another
to
underrated kaiju as well, King Caesar.
Yes.
Yep.
Even though granted the movie had a prophecy where a monster of legend would show up and team up to fight an ancient evil,
Okay.
Granted, that was the plot.
That's writer's room stuff.
Well, I mean, even in the
See,
new King Kong Godzilla movie, Mecha Godzilla was too much for almost both of them together.
No, it's not Mega Godzilla.
Almost.
Yeah.
It's Mega King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah.
No, you can't. No, you can't even call it Mecha King Ghidorah because the real Mecha King Ghidorah has that metal head in the set. Yeah, so just call it Metal King Ghidorah, basically. Because I mean, in that film, all they did was grab one of the skulls of King Ghidorah that died, and psionically linked it to power Mecha Godzilla.
Right.
What was your?
Well, it was two skulls. It was two skulls
for everyone here.
The skull. There was a skull. There was the DNA and stuff was in the body, and they had the thing outside where the guy's chair was sitting at. That's how it worked.
Kevin,
so I have one question for everyone here. If this goes for like if you could see what kaiju would you guys want to see in either the next Minus in the Minus verse movie or the MonsterVerse? What kaiju would you love to see Godzilla fight?
Anguirus.
I kind of want to see Anguirus come back, because he's one of I would say he's the most underappreciated kaiju out of all of them. The last time that we saw him, like in the modern day, was Singular Point, which he was actually done pretty well in Singular Point. That was a really cool design, and the whole like him seeing the future to deflect any attacks is kind of an interesting thing, but then it further feeds into the confusing nature of Singular Point, where like they add a whole bunch of abstract concepts and like future timey-wimey stuff and quantum physics and everything. This is one of the weird things about Singular Point. But putting that aside, Anguirus is very underappreciated. I like that they added him in there, so I'd like to see Anguirus come back. But for the Minus verse movies, shall we say, it's got to be Mothra. It needs to be Mothra.
What do you think about that?
I tend to agree. I want to see Anguirus. He's another, he was the first monster that they introduced back then, and I think it's only fitting for this new story. Or I guess I don't really want to call it a universe, but whatever they're cooking up with this -0.
Right.
Well, also they could bring King Caesar back because he is a guardian of Okinawa. They could bring him too because he could be real too.
They should try and be careful with the monsters they bring back though, because if they do start, I guess, jumping the gun with some of them, I don't know how audiences are going to feel. Look, I know for a fact with -0, as soon as they do start introducing another monster, I imagine there's going to be a disconnect with audiences, only because, okay, let's put it like this. The -1, everybody absolutely loved it. Even people that normally don't watch kaiju films, they liked it because of the human element that happened with -1, which was a really well done, like, human element. As soon as you start introducing another monster, there's going to be a disconnect because you have the fans, the kaiju fans, who love watching these films to see giant monsters fight the hell out of each other, right? And then, of course, normal audiences may not be so attuned to that just because they liked the previous film for the humans having to contend with the main antagonist, which is Godzilla. So I don't know how they're going to handle it if they introduce another monster. We'll see. Hopefully Yamazaki and his team know how to balance all of them together, so that way both kaiju fans and general audiences are actually able to get behind it. We'll see once it finally comes out. But I know, obviously, with like the legendary films, most of the time that people really like those happen to be, of course, the longtime kaiju fans because they like seeing giant monsters fight. And then general audiences just basically lambast it because, the human writing's bad. And it's like, well, if the human writing's bad, you at least have the monster to watch. But then they don't care much for that.
Agree, but disagree, because King of Monsters, I think a lot of people like more because of both elements. Whereas the first one, you didn't get Godzilla as much as that. And I think a lot of people were like, well, I don't care about these human characters. Why get to that? Like, I feel even the general audience was like, get to Godzilla. Why am I not seeing more Godzilla? And
right. Well, no, I would agree with you too, because I absolutely love King of the Monsters. I think that's the best one in the Legendary films. I just, for some reason, critics don't seem to like it all that much.
Yeah.
Which is the confusing part that I would say.
Would you consider Godzilla versus Kong? Is that a Legendary film too?
Yeah, it is. It's a
okay.
Yeah.
Then I'd have to say the first one of those will be my favorite over King of Monsters, though.
I agree with that. I think Godzilla vs. Kong is one of my favorites.
I think it was great. Yeah, I think it was great. The first
you know what I would love to see?
And Kong Skull Island was just...
It is.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Kong Skull Island was
great.
great.
Really good
start.
Oh, yeah.
A great start to it.
Absolutely.
My only
you know
issue
what I
with
would love to
Godzilla-
see? You know what I would love to see? Bring
What?
back Metal Kong from King Kong Escapes.
Ooh,
Bring back
Mechanic
Metal
Kong.
Kong. Mechanic Kong.
All right, so here is kind of adding on to what Ronan was saying. I think I mean, depending how it's done, I think adding in another kaiju to the -0 could potentially ruin what made -1 so great. And I'm not saying it would be done in a silly way, but kind of like he was saying, it takes away from like the general audience is gonna have a disconnect. Of course, we're gonna love it, right? Because there's another kaiju in a fight, but that's not what that movie was about. It was not, you know, setting up a world with kaijus and different, you know, future threats that are gonna come. It was literally, you know, mutation happened, radioactive lizard attacks, you know, Tokyo, and if the sequel is just that, but times 10, Godzilla's pissed off and they have to fight against him, I would be fine with that if it's done well. I don't know if introducing another kaiju is the move.
Well, 100%. Like you're right with that. And it was the movie was a battle with the guy was battling himself, his thoughts, and it's more than it was
his
a
demons.
Godzilla movie. His
guilt.
So let me ask you this. This is probably the last question I have so far, but we can keep going. Do you think the human element is needed in the movie, or are you watching for like just the brutality of the monsters? Like, what do you think it's do you need a good mid ground, or like what do you think really makes a Godzilla movie?
I will say
it's needed. The Legendary movies, like I rewatch them only for the fighting scenes. Only for the spectacle. I don't care about the plot. Not saying it's terrible, but -1, I can watch the whole movie through and just be invested in the characters,
100%.
the arcs the characters go on. And not a lot of Godzilla movies have that. There are very few. We could probably count on a hand that actually have that. So it's definitely, I think it adds to the overall watching experience and it keeps you invested, not getting bored, you know, because that a lot of the Godzilla movies, guys, let's be honest, they're boring when there's not any
agree. Like the 60s and 70s, I love them, but like I'm watching them for the fights. I'm not watching them for what's happening with the humans.
Right.
Like this -1 was the first one I felt like was human interaction needed.
That is definitely how I feel. Kanga is with. I'm sorry, Fano, I didn't mean to cut you off. With -1,
go ahead.
I'm very much with Hoodie. With the characters are well written. The arc of the main characters, I guess, but the primary character, and the realism of the setting really just brings the whole thing together. And there's plenty of Godzilla just effing stuff up in -1.
Right.
But the characters are so well written, and I feel, at least someone who very much likes history and very much into World War II history, post World War II, things like that. I feel like the director really nailed not only the political climate of Reconstruction from the Marshall Plan with the U.S., but also the feeling of these military men coming back and becoming civilians, you know, especially when that former naval captain calls a bunch of former naval guys in as civilians and saying, look, I can't order you to do anything anymore. This is me, man to man, asking you, please, we need everybody.
It's also,
and some people walk out, but like that type of scene is like, just feels so good.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. I just want to ask
what they could Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry,
go ahead,
sorry,
AP.
Phantom. I just want to add something to your point, Jake. It wasn't really that that he couldn't force them to. It's that he didn't want to either. Like that he wanted to respect their choice
Of course.
in that matter and all that, and that's what I love about that. Anyway, go ahead.
No,
Phantom.
what they could do is they could go old school with this. Now we know that it's going to take Godzilla a while to regenerate from that single cell, like
Mhm.
that we saw at the end of the movie.
It'll take time.
What if during that time frame, maybe they could introduce another monster that is affected from Godzilla being there? Maybe Godzilla cells when he exploded like he did. Maybe it like the girl, we know the girl could be mutating because of Godzilla cells.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the kaiju that come from that, like Anguirus and all, like Mothra and all them, could be a derivative of Godzilla's cells being like strewn all over Japan.
Right.
Maybe his mutation hooks onto another animal and it mutates them into, say, an Anguirus or
carried through the waters of the Pacific,
or Rodan and stuff like that.
Creatures.
And then at some point, Godzilla is the alpha male, which he is, and he ends up at some point. These creatures are going to be like, no, we want to be the alpha male, and then have an all-out attack. Maybe all of them comes up, and Godzilla just fucking fights them all, like a destroy all monsters type situation. That's what could happen.
So
like
regarding
Optimus Prime fighting against the Decepticons, I'll take you all on.
so regarding the question on like whether or not the human element's important or needed, I suppose I'll try and ask these two questions here. How many of you guys here would watch a Godzilla movie? Let's say that it's set millions of years in the past, and it's just Godzilla and the kaijus, and you just see them interacting with one another. How many of you guys here would watch a movie like that?
That would be kind of interesting, honestly.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I mean, just Predator. Look what Predator Badlands just did. It follows a Predator the whole damn movie. Like and there is no humans in it. I mean, they're synthetic, but like
that'd be interesting.
It's just fantastic. So it can work.
So like a Look Who's Talking, but with kaiju.
Yeah, essentially. No, I asked that just to see how much I guess how much of us really believe the human element is super important. And I guess the second question would be, how many of you guys here, because I know most of us here watched Final Wars, how many of us here kind of related to the humans in Final Wars? Like
the humans,
much of a connection did we have?
The humans were good. I think it was well balanced. You had a lot of the fighting, and you had the human element.
What I was going to say, because you have a lot of fighting that's going on with the kaijus, and then you have fighting going on with the human characters, the mutants, the Zillions, freaking Don Fry showing up with his Sergeant Slaughter mustache and his katana, just beating the hell out of everyone. Yeah. So that's why I asked.
You wouldn't hit a woman. Chop.
So that's why I asked, because like the human element is a curious thing when it comes to Godzilla. A lot of us want to watch the monsters fight each other. General audiences, of course, want to see human characters so that way they can try and relate to the entire situation that occurs in the films. So the question is like, the question for me is wondering what sort of, I guess, how well does the human element have to be? What's the balance that we can find just so that way everyone's able to enjoy it?
No matter what, people are going to show up, especially us, to go see these Godzilla, these kaiju films, right?
Right.
But until -1, we never really saw a good, strong human element and like a good story written into these films. Going into the MonsterVerse movies, like I know I'm not going to be getting a good, human plot. Like I know it's going to be some kind of cheesy B plot, cheesy dialogue,
right?
And like that's the expectation that's set, and like I don't want to say that's sad, but that's just like the rep that these.
You're there for the fights. You're there for.
Well, there's a trope. There's a trope that's called "just here for Godzilla," so that's pretty much what it is for a lot of these films.
It was the same thing with Transformers. Do you give a damn about the human characters? No.
There's humans?
Not really.
But at least Transformers made them funny though. Like there was Shia was funny as hell. I think Shia was funny as hell in the trilogy.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I would say I liked him.
The thing with -1, the human characters were
a little crazy,
well written.
Well, you would watch a movie. I would watch a movie about the human characters.
Like you actually, you cared for them and what they were going through. Look at Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Like, you didn't really get attached to any of those characters per se. They're just kind of there doing their thing.
It was less human. It was actually more action than less humans.
I forgot some of the humans that were in there from the last movie.
Hell,
who are you?
There was a point, and it's funny that we bring up Godzilla X Kong. There's a point where like you don't see any humans at all because they're describing the backstory of the Scar King and Shimo, and that's when we see Kong with Suko literally in the Scar King's abode, shall we say? Which side tangent, it almost completely distracts you that these are all kaiju-sized animals that are interacting like they're people-sized beings. So you got to imagine that cave is gigantic.
Yes.
If a normal human was in there, it would be gigantic for them. But then for these animals, it's like a normal sized dwelling, basically, right? But I guess the biggest question we have to ask ourselves is there a way Yamazaki and his team can write human characters just as compelling as in -1 while trying to introduce new monsters in here?
I trust him. I trust him.
I do. I think
so. This might be a rough point I'm trying to make, but I think so. I recently had watched Frankenstein, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is not because it's because they managed to focus on the monster and have the humans and all that. All that. I think if they do something like that, where like part of the movie they focus on like the humans, with the monster being like the background, and then like the latter half of the movie they focus on just the monsters with the humans being the background, and like they tell a whole story there.
Well, the thing is, Atomic. That's how the original 54 was, because you had human, you had nothing, all the human element until Godzilla shows up on Odo Island. Then they start focusing more towards Godzilla. That's how the original movie was.
Yeah. See, well, this is coming from someone who has not seen all the Godzilla movies.
I think out of Legendary, I think Skull Island was probably the best with the human monster the human element of the movie.
Yes,
them trying
100%.
to survive
until -1
until Kong, like Kong would show up, fight off a monster on the island, and then it would go back to the humans, and then you had that little bit with the Queen Skullwalker against Kong, and it was just Kong the rest of the way.
Yeah. So wasn't Sam Jackson in that movie?
He was.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Sam,
and he got flat.
Tom Hiddleston, and then Brie Larson, Ryan's girlfriend.
I want to tell you.
Well, hang on. Before y'all go in further, I know Hoodie, you got to go, so I'd like to give you any final thoughts on this situation or anything about coming up with the M and just what you're doing anytime soon.
So listen, there's never been a better time to be a Godzilla fan or get into the Godzilla, like just getting into the, fandom. There, you have so many different avenues to start with. The MonsterVerse, I think, is a great introductory for people just to kind of get into the character and see what he's about. I do like that the MonsterVerse kind of has him set up as the guardian of Earth, keeping things in balance.
Yeah.
But I also do think it's great that someone can go watch -1 and just see him, just
destroy,
mess shit up,
just tear shit up. My favorite Godzilla film is either going to be Godzilla 2000 or Final Wars, just because those are the two that I've watched the most over and over and over.
but I am excited for the future of this franchise. We got -0. There's another Godzilla Kong film coming out. One thing I will say the MonsterVerse has done the past 2 movies, they seem to really like Kong, and he's gotten more screen time. I want Godzilla to get more screen time. So hopefully we see
absolutely.
that.
Okay, so on top of that point, before you go, I want less Godzilla and King Kong movies and more solo movies of those two.
Yeah,
I'd like to see those. I'd
like to.
Yeah.
But
I think they sell so well together. Is the
them being together, fighting together.
The dependency of both of them together. Yeah,
it's just
those are the highest
buddy cop movie.
They're the highest made movie. They made the most movies in the MonsterVerse was the team up movies.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Hoodie, where can people find you?
Yeah.
I am on the GCA every Wednesday. We go live. All of you, I've seen you all in the chat. So
I was on there 2 weeks ago.
Everybody, you guys are all amazing. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Oh, we appreciate
it. Sorry,
it.
I have to leave early, but we're going to the Lions game, which is
nice.
Ooh, all right, nice.
Detroit Lions.
They've got a good.
I hope your Lions don't choke. I hope your Lions don't choke.
Fight them kneecaps, baby.
We'll see what happens, Phantom. We'll see what happens.
The for the homies do not condone or accept.
I'm better than they will.
Seriously,
go
guys,
Eagles!
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys. And
absolutely, Hoodie. Yes.
Thank you, Hoodie. Take care, man.
We'll do this again, okay?
Oh yeah.
Be well, Hoodie. Thanks for coming on. Take care.
Bye, guys. You too.
Peace out, brother.
Like I was saying, it's like for me, I love to see more Godzilla. The thing is like the 2014 was good, but like when you add like the other creatures to it, people want to see the big fights and stuff. But
which is confusing to me because like King of the Monsters, again, like I've said this 100 million times, King of the Monsters is like a love letter to all the Showa films, especially considering that they introduced Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. They're all duking it out, but then that film for some reason like doesn't do as good. They bring Kong into it, and then that's the more successful films, and now they're trying to put more attention to Kong while making Godzilla an antagonist again. It's like
I think it has to do with Skull Island. I think Skull Island did so well for them that they were like, ooh, this is who we need to focus on, because people showed up for that.
I guess
it was almost $1 billion film. It was almost
it did better than it did better in 2014. So they were like, I think they were just kind of like, this is the moneymaker. This is who they want also in there.
Would I be jumping the gun if I said that that's because of American bias, just because Kong happens to be
100%?
100%. Because Kong's an American monster.
I think that's
Kong's an American monster. That's what they're willing to jump to.
I think we're all with
that's how it's always been. I mean, Kong was
it could also be
our
Donkey
first
Kong
movie monster.
Well, Donkey Kong got, the normies know Donkey Kong. They're like, ooh, is that Donkey Kong? And then they say it and they're like, okay, King Kong, I got you.
Giant lizard that breathes fire and is the embodiment of nuclear weapons versus monkey, and everybody chooses the monkey.
I did.
The thing is,
it's because we come from
Skull Island. I'm not a fan of 2014, but I love Skull Island.
I mean, I do as well. So.
Well, the thing is, Donkey Kong is an homage to King Kong.
Let's see here.
Donkey Kong is an homage. So do we have anything else to talk about, Campia?
Right here we go.
I mean, that's all the question. I mean, we can keep
talking
about
movies.
So. Is there any movies y'all want to talk about that we hadn't talked about that people should watch of a Godzilla series?
I would say Hoodie's right. I would start with the Legendary. But if you want to see Godzilla as peak, where it was campy, it was fun, go back and watch the originals. Go back and start with the 54, and just go from 54 up. You won't be disappointed. They're goofy, they're fun. You can turn your brains off and enjoy them for an hour and 30 minutes. I can't wait for -0. I can't wait for Supernova, because we know the rumor is Jet Jaguar and a few other classic Toho monsters are coming back in that movie.
Space Godzilla.
Godzilla. Jet Jaguar was who was going to say for like not -0, but maybe -2 if they do that. But I would like to see Jet Jaguar kind of in this, just to see, because the humans could could find some way to bring it into that. It would just be really.
Well,
I just don't know how
build
they would
Mega
do it,
Godzilla. They could build Mega Godzilla.
Yeah.
They've done it before. Humans can build. I mean, they just don't have the technology at in that time frame.
That's
That
what I'm
would have
saying.
to
And
be
like the third,
the
fourth movie,
80s.
and even in this
Yeah.
new movie, maybe we're going to be following the child of the two characters.
Yeah, Kiro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they bring if Mothra is in the mom, maybe that's how they bring her back down is the daughter.
Yep.
Right,
good.
That's true.
right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
My sorry, go ahead,
Please,
Jake.
no, Ronan, please. by all means.
Okay, no. My recommendations, I would say, I'll always recommend Godzilla 2000 to be the entry point for everyone. This one's a fantastic film because, it's like one of the first Japanese films to actually be shown in theaters after the '98 Godzilla film. And again, fantastic English cast done by Hong Kong residents that can speak English. It's a pretty good story as well, too, I would say. Fantastic monster fighting between Godzilla and Orga. But I could also recommend, of course, let me grab it. The Legendary Verse, also a good starting point, too. This one's also really great. Look at this.
I gotta watch a new one. I have not seen New Empire.
The reason why I wouldn't recommend -1 to be the starting point is because I feel like that's a movie you really got to build up as a fan to finally watch, especially considering how emotionally impactful it is. Like I've said it 100 times before, it's the first Godzilla movie that actually made me shed manly tears, which only proves why I love this franchise so much.
I'll agree with the exception of one thing. If your person you're showing it to is more into the human connection of a character, I would say you start with -1. Otherwise, go back to 2000.
And that was going to be my opinion. My opinion as more of a normie on this. I was going to say that generally speaking, I do not see an issue with introducing someone to Godzilla via -1, even if you do -1 in English or if you do minus color and you just have the subtitles, because I feel that you get plenty of Godzilla. You got plenty of Godzilla just really ripping stuff apart. You have very well-written characters, and you have good character drama and good character arcs, and you have a genuinely solid period piece for all intents and purposes. Now, I understand what you guys are saying in regards to it's a very impactful movie. Ronan, I have the same sentiment. I shed manly tears the first time I watched it a little bit on Friday because there's some genuine, impactful moments. And that can certainly make it difficult for somebody who that was their introduction to go back, watch older movies, because granted they could be more cheesy, or they could be very cheesy, or they could become really attached to the human characters, and then when you go back, these human characters suck, this story doesn't really matter to me, I don't really care.
Right.
And I need both the Godzilla wrecking and the good human characters, so I can see that. But I will, with the caveat that can't be brought up, say that I think -1 it can be, certainly depending on the age and the personality of the person, let's say, could be a solid introduction point.
That's one of my only concerns, and not to cut anybody else off. I'll just add a little bit to what you said, Jake. Is that I don't mean to bring up this discourse, but we had the discourse happen before back in 2024, I think it was, where Godzilla -1 came out, and then you had Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, right? And the discourse online that was going on was that, the Japanese know how to make really good Godzilla films, and they know how to write human characters. Meanwhile, the Americans over here are just only making dumb, goofy films, and it's just all dumb. Basically that's what it is. They're just smashing dolls together, and no one cares to watch any of it. When I would say that's not really the right.
That's an
discussion
extreme
to have,
exaggeration at the very
only
least.
Because Godzilla, again, is a very versatile character. You can make him to be a villain that humans come together to fight against. You can make him a hero that humans will fight alongside with against other kaijus. You turn him into a force of nature that's neutral, that humans need to be wary of, while also fighting against other forces that is beyond their control. Godzilla is very versatile, especially considering over the 71 years that he's existed. He's had so many films where he's essentially gone all over the spectrum of morality.
Dozens.
So trying to put one film of Godzilla against another just seems very unfair, because he has been all of these things all at once.
I think from
going back to what you said, Phantom.
I think for myself,
line you up to prepare you, if you will, for him being, hey, he's not always a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would just do like my family did. Just start with Godzilla versus Megalon, and go out throughout the 70s and let little kids start with that Godzilla. Let them start with that Godzilla. And
that's more apropos for little kids as well.
Yeah.
Also,
right?
They can kind of get it.
That's
more.
what they've intentionally
as opposed to the TikTok generation.
And then like let them watch from Godzilla versus Megalon all the way up, and then be like, okay, so if they love Godzilla, they love Godzilla. Be like, well, the thing is, Godzilla was not always a good guy. Start with the 54. Start with the 54, because I think when it comes to a little kid, I think -1 is going to be too scary for them. They'll be terrified.
It'd be too dramatic for them as well. Yeah. That type of historical epic, if you will, if you're under like 15, let's say, probably would just and you just
blow your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not even 15-year-old. Like I said, TikTok generation. I feel like their attention spans. You want something that's going to catch.
They can't lock in for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So start them young
guess,
if you can.
It's funny. I am the exception to that. So.
Yeah, not everyone in your generation. You're not everyone
gets one. Right?
Yeah. No, I know.
Well, that's how it was with my kids. It's like, started off Godzilla. My kids' first Godzilla, were the ones that I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
And then they saw the shitty one, and then I went and showed them the good stuff again. And it's like,
it's a great way to parent. Just kind of like,
could minus 00 or -0. It could be bad. It could. I mean, it's usually the second movie in a series is better than the first.
Fingers crossed.
It's just, I have faith in the people that are making this movie. I have
They care about these characters.
I have faith with the Legendary crew, because they haven't really made a bad movie yet in the Legendary verse. They really haven't.
And they've done so many I don't know much about Godzilla lore or like Toho stuff like that, but I do know that the MonsterVerse has done so much honoring of the original lore with when you find King Ghidorah, you find him frozen in ice, which is like how Godzilla, like as you said, Phantom, earlier, how Godzilla defeated him was he froze him in the Antarctic and
carbonite.
With Tiamat, it was the thing was, it was with Tiamat's help is how Ghidorah got frozen, because they were friends at one point. You know,
and I wouldn't be surprised if both Legendary and Toho, or at least like the directors themselves, are actually sharing notes with each other, just so that way both of them better understand how they should be handling Godzilla in their respective means.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to go by that though, starting off, I could see Kong Island being a good one for someone like mid, not younger, but like
12, teen
13,
level. Yeah.
I could see like
because that would be engaging enough. There'd be actors that they recognize also.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't be a bad starting point, and then go to Godzilla 2014.
I think the only reason why I wouldn't, if I had a kid, is just because he might grow up liking Kong more than Godzilla. I want him growing up liking Godzilla.
No,
my first one was both of them. So.
I'm just saying, Godzilla 2014 has some pretty recognizable actors. It's got Bryan Cranston. It's got
it does, but
Aaron
it doesn't
Taylor
have
Johnston.
The
it's got Elizabeth Olsen. It's got.
Hey, the joke. Yeah, you know that's kind of a joke on when they put those two in that movie.
Yeah.
And then when they cast him in Age of Ultron as Wanda and Pietro because they were lovers, the ancestral love in that fucking comic book. That was the joke. That was the joke of why they brought him over. It's like, hey, y'all just played a married couple. Now we're gonna put you as Wanda and fucking Quicksilver.
I'll read this out,
married
and I guess this would be a good place to wrap. Crease is asking, shout out to you, Crease. let me ask you guys this, since you guys are hardcore Godzilla fans. Well, me, man. Would you guys want a Godzilla multiverse movie where the Godzilla from -1 meets up with the Godzilla from King Kong?
No.
I would not want that for one reason, because Godzilla in the MonsterVerse is like double the size of Godzilla from -1. Hell, there's even a meme where like the Godzilla from MonsterVerse just goes right in front of -1 Godzilla, and he's like, "You need to chill." Yeah, this is after he just blew up Ginza. After he blows up Ginza, and MonsterVerse Godzilla is just like, "You need to chill."
It's the older brother. It's the older brother, like, chill the hell out.
They've done it in the comic books.
Yeah,
I mean, they've done it in the comic books.
How?
And the thing is with me, it's like the thing with Godzilla is Godzilla could be that entity where it could be the same Godzilla everywhere. But you know, for me, I'm sick and tired of multiverse shit. Now,
I was gonna say,
I've gone past.
We can get two Batmans coming up. We'll get two Godzillas.
The thing is, say at some point in the Minus universe, maybe the Azillions show up, or the monsters from Planet X show up, or whatever, and maybe at some point, they'll bring their own version. Dude, I'd rather see the aliens make Mega Godzilla than the humans, dude. It makes more sense.
Okay.
It makes
well,
more
I mean,
sense.
you got to remember this.
I don't want no multiverse.
That universe,
same.
You got to remember, there's 3 versions of Mecha Godzilla. You have Mecha Godzilla 2 in the 90s, which was made by humans,
technically 4.
which then.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. 4. Yeah. Okay, so 3 that are human made, 1 that's made by aliens. So you have multiple Mecha Godzillas. We can find a way how it could be done. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
I think we've had a great discussion here today, though.
Honestly, I got so much more I could speak, but I know some of us got lives outside of this, so gotta wrap it up.
Well, you can go live on your channel.
Yeah,
go live on your channel and just play Godzilla games.
Everybody individually is going live after.
I'm just saying, Ronan, if you don't do that, I feel like me and you could talk for hours about like the state of Fallout.
Oh my God,
brother, I'd be there for it.
Speaking of, I believe Fallout Season 2 is coming out soon. So
you're talking about the TV show. Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's the TV show, and then there's the games, of course.
I've never played the games.
You know what? I have an idea if you guys want to do this.
Derailing what
I already know the idea. I'm on board. Yes.
Same, on board.
I'm on board.
Watch party, and maybe do it. Wait till the series is done, and just do a recap.
Oh yes,
maybe.
I'm on board.
I've seen the series. I've watched the whole show, but I never played the game. I never played the games. I'm
a big Fallout fan myself, so I could definitely give some input on it.
Hey,
I played the games after 76. Fuck Fallout after 76.
No.
That's another show. That's another
show for another time.
like I said, I know how to derail.
Ronan,
I know how to derail.
Ronan, what you got going on?
Currently I am setting up the next stream. I don't know what time it'll be starting, if I'll be able to do it today, because obviously, life as well. Got to handle some things outside there. Like I said, I'm still planning a Death Stranding stream. I've also been slowly but surely beginning my first ever true video that I'll be uploading. And cat's out of the bag now. I might as well spoil it. I wanted to try and upload it today, but since we couldn't, I'm still working on it. It's going to be an in-depth analysis and review on the very first Godzilla film. That's what I plan on doing.
There we go.
Going to be discussing Godzilla. And
I'm definitely not going to watch that.
And just like Cinemassacre did with his one October Monster Madness Godzilla-thon, I will be doing the same thing slowly but surely, covering all the Godzilla films.
Nice.
And hopefully I can do that before -0 comes out, so that way that'll be the newest one I discuss.
It's probably the end of next year, so I think you've got time.
Oh yes.
Get out of here, Ebola.
Jake, what you got going on?
Well, other than being here at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays doing the matinee with the homies here, of course, Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the official For the Homies podcast, which I love doing every week. That is where I'll be. Other than that, as you guys know, not really online as much, especially again now, end of year stuff coming up, especially with things going on with my family. And, you know, we're kind of reaching a crunch time right now with my wife and paperwork and things like that, which is taking a lot of my free time up if I had any before that point. But you'll always find me here 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays to do matinee, and you'll always find me 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays with the official For the Homies podcast. And as always, I love being here, love interacting with all of you guys here, love interacting with the chat, and I love talking movies, and I love talking pop culture. And as always, my name is Big Dog Jake, BIGGDOGGJAKE. I am a professional, though occasional, VOA. I am a writer for hire. I love video games. I love metal music, and I will talk to anyone about them. And you can find me basically anywhere at this handle, including hitting me up on Discord. And I'll be there.
No.
Nice.
Ebola. I mean, Atomic. What you got going on?
Atomic Ebola.
Insults.
I did that last night too. I called Ebola Atomic.
Liquid Patriot.
I
Sounds like a Metal Gear Solid character. Liquid Patriot.
It sounds like something else.
That's
I don't
great.
like it. No, yeah, you can pretty much find me on YouTube and on X and in the GCA and homies Discords. We usually there every night, every evening, usually for just to hang out with you guys and all that. And I know I upload on Friday. I uploaded a review of Yaira 1 through 3, which
23 minutes.
I saw that. Yeah.
It was like 40 minutes, dude. I had to cut you down.
Oh, excuse me.
No. I had to. It was originally 40 minutes. I
see.
Ooh, Jesus.
I thought I was misremembering for a moment.
I went on so many rants that were unrelated to how,
cut.
Yeah. But again, so I uploaded that on Friday, and man, and I love this conversation, and I'm glad to be here. So I'm glad you guys still bring me on. So.
Glad you're here with us, JP.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Campia, what you got going on?
You're showing your age, Phantom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Getting a little senile there.
I am M. Campia U fan. I am your residential sugar honey iced tea meme guy of the GCA and the For the Homies. I have a video in the works. I forgot how much it sucks to edit videos, but I'm working on that.
It's not fun.
You can find me on X. You can find me here with For the Homies. And Thursday we have something special for you, which Phantom will discuss in just a minute. Appreciate, like they say, appreciate you here, and back to my homosexual co-host.
Fuck you. So we did have this lockdown. Right. So we have this lockdown, so I can't announce. So we were going to have a guest on the 20th, and this guest could not make it on the 20th. So I can proudly announce that this Thursday for the Homies podcast, we're going to have a very, very, very special guest. Who is that, Campia?
Moxie Dame is going to join us on the panel.
All right, nice.
Everybody loves Moxie. If you've been involved in the GCA or Nerderotic or Geeks and Gamers, you know who Moxie is. She's building herself, and we just love to bring her on because she's fun to talk to.
Yep. So we got that locked down for Thursday night. So also in the homies Discord, we will be watching it. Welcome to Derry, episode 3, I believe. This Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern.
Next week will be a Thanksgiving show as well. So we might watch a Thanksgiving movie for Friday.
Yep. Also, Friday night at 8:00 Eastern, we will be doing a watch party for episode 6 of My Hero Academia for the Anime with the Homies. Also, Anime with the Homies Saturday night. And back here next week, because we're going to be talking holiday movies, especially Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving era. Also, I don't know yet if we will do a show the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I haven't talked to these guys about it, but we're not doing an anime with the homies Saturday night. So We might not do a Sunday show after Thanksgiving. Also, just
and also
have a
Thursday
weekend
will be
break.
Thanksgiving as well. So depending on when you guys have dinner,
we'll
let you guys know, of course.
We'll probably still do a show on Thursday night, but
we'll let you know next week. We'll let you know next week.
Yeah. So I'm Phantom X. He's Rhonda the Crusader. He's the Dollar Store Rey Mysterio and Kemp fan. And we got Atomic Ebola down below. Ebola Atomic, whatever you want to call him. We got Big Dog Jake. This has been Matinee with the Homies. Thank you, Hoodie, for coming on. And don't forget, guys, at I believe at 5 o'clock or 5:30 this afternoon, go over there and check out Jess. She's going to be doing her Breaking Bad 4:30, her Breaking Bad
Baking Bad
episode.
Baking Bad.
Baking Bad.
5, baby.
I'm fucking tired.
Go follow my ginger friend Jessica.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys
once again showing
next
his age.
Thursday. You're fired.
Got a new opening spot.
Like the stream, nerds, cut it.
Like it.
Like the stream, nerds. And if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, don't drink it.
Don't follow Phantom.
Take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Peace out.